Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Today, I want to talk about possibly my favourite part of the live stream, the holiday live stream we had, which was awful, was the reveal of the Vanduul. We were presented with a very cool video featuring an unknown planet while a Vanduul ship known as the Driller passed overhead. After a few close-ups of the ship, the camera panned to show a lone Vanduul warrior holding a spear sort of torch thing, while a few smaller Vanduul ships flew past him. The video really set up the feeling of sort of an impending doom as the Vanduul were closing in on something, maybe us. But after this video they spoke about the ships and the Vanduul as a race. We also got to see the scale at which the ships are. You can see the old image of the Vanduul ships here, the sort of ship lineups, plus this short video showing the scale of a human and the human ships compared to the Vanduuls. Now the Bengal carrier, which is the biggest human ship that we know of other than the Retribution, which we have no scale of just yet, is 990 meters, which is about 10 meters shy of a kilometer. And the Driller, which was the one from the video, is 1.7 kilometers in length. And the flagship, the Vanduul flagship, is 2.8 kilometers. But anyway, talking about the ships first, they got to look at the latest concepts and models of the Vanduul. Remember, this race is approximately 1 to 2 feet taller than a human. Now, the Vanduul fleet has been in existence for a while now, with Squadron 42 coming close. The Vanduul and their ships were, started way back. They had to reinvent how they make ships, though. They established an alien look for the Vanduul style and filter it through the whole fleet. The Driller, which is the ship from the video, is the hero asset. That's the ship which they build initially to solidify the Vanduul look and feel, and then they put that into the rest of the ships. Now, Chris said all the ships have their interiors, and you can explore them and walk around them. In terms of the race themselves, they are working on that too, and just establishing and fleshing it out a little further. They are very much a race about combat and war. They take fighting as kind of a rite of passage. They mysteriously attacked the human race around 250 years ago, stealing and harvesting our world's resources to forge in onto themselves and to keep their race growing. The difficulty in defeating the Vanduul is because they have no unified government that we know of. They roam in separate clans, so even defeating one, it has no real effect on the whole race themselves. The Squadron 42 trilogy will get more to the heart of the mystery of the Vanduul and where they came from, also learning more history about the universe. But when it comes to the Vanduul warriors, the armour which they wear is grafted or fused within their skin. Now the first image shows quite a young or inexperienced Vanduul warrior. He has a lot of armour on. The lore is with the armour is that as the Vanduul warrior earns their stripes or, gets braver, they will shed more of their armour off, a way of showing their status within their clans. So basically, if you see a naked Vanduul, then you'll know he's been in combat for a very long time, and he will probably be very dangerous and a lot harder to defeat than more of the green type Vanduul warriors. They also don't feel pain like a human does, plus they can survive in the vacuum of space for a short while without needing a spacesuit. Obviously, after a set period of time, they'll need to get like a face mask or some sort of rebreather to keep going further. The second image we saw was of a more experienced Vanduul wearing less armour. The third image shows the bioluminescence, but not only do they have vocal speech and body language gestures, but they also have this body luminescence or body colouring, which they can shift depending on what they are saying or what they are feeling. While coming up with the Vanduul language, they did establish how the Vanduul will react and move, plus their body language depending on what they're saying at that time. If you are new to Star Citizen, each race will have their own fully developed language that you can learn. But we'll see all this in Squadron 42. They are exploring more of the Vanduul weapons and how they will attack. Spears can double up as an energy weapon projectile, as well as a melee weapon, kind of like Stargate, I guess. But we will see very different fighting styles in the Vanduuls compared to, say, the humans or other races. They took the older version of the Vanduul and spent a lot of time adding and just fleshing out and adding the lore and history into these characters to make them feel more robust. They want them to have more than just a monster presence, as they are getting their expressions and emotions in too, because they are thinking creatures who can build complicated ships. Chris did say that there will be this same level of detail with the other races like the Tevaran, the Banu, the Jan. These are the only ones we know of so far. There will be other races than that. Whether or not they'll be as fully fleshed as these types of races, who knows. But we will learn more about the Vanduul as Squadron 42 comes closer to an end. Anyway, this was an update video of the Vanduul race and their ships. I wouldn't be surprised if we get to see their ships very, very soon. It sounds like they are practically ready on most of them Very much like we saw with the Idris, the Javelin, and the Bengal Carrier, they need these ships for Squadron 42. They need the race for Squadron 42, so they will practically be ready to release, but they're holding back because obviously they don't want to spoil it for us. Once all this is finished, they will move on to the other ships for the Star Citizen universe. Things will come thick and fast, I think. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, guys. I personally find the Vanduul will be very scary, especially if you are on a space station alone and you come across a clan. I highly suggest turning around and running, especially if they're all naked. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, and I shall see you later.